Yo, what's up? How is it going, man? um, it is Wednesday, September 24th at 8:47 p.m. and my camera is big this time. And that's because I don't know how I feel about the current setup for these updates. They're just not very inspiring. I don't think they really capture what was important. So I want to see how I can best do that. Because today I feel like I had some realizations. And even though I didn't, you know, make a ton of progress with school specifically, or with, you know, anything quantifiable, I think that, like, mentally and, you know, philosophically, today was good. Um, I think I'm learning to understand the value of just like letting go of your fear. Specifically in the social world, like it's really easy to hold on to bad habits and old habits, just childhood anxiety and like I grew up this small kid and very conflict avoidant naturally. Um, I won't go out of my way to talk to people or like, say hi. Pretty introverted, but I don't think being introverted is a result of your genetics. I think that's very wrong. I think it's a result of your childhood circumstance. But I think I'm coming more and more to realize that the more you can strip back your fears, the more that you can basically reject all of your fears and just go for it, the more happy you feel, the more in control you feel, the more agency you have by definition, because you're just making shit happen. And it's just like everything comes down to that. Just a really, really powerful idea, I think. And even if you like don't live up to what you say that you were going to live up to, like, what is the consequence? What does it matter? Um, you can always go back to you're mortal. It's all gonna go to zero. You're gonna lose it all, anyways. And so, why should you care about what, the judgments you think other people place on you? The majority of the time, people don't judge you at all. It's been yourself this entire time. It hasn't been the world. And it just doesn't matter. And it might feel like it matters now, but in the grand scheme of things, what would you rather? Would you rather look back and understood that you went out of your way to take the opportunities presented to you every day to be a more confident, more capable, more respectable version of yourself? Or, you know, would you be glad to have had a risk averse mindset when you're on your deathbed and you can no longer take any risks? Like, that's the question. Like, I'm 18 right now. I have my entire life in front of me, and that's a pretty powerful idea. But it's hard to explain. Like, one day I'll feel this way, and then the next day I'll be distracted and I'll slip back into old habits, and it feels entirely different. And so, yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to say. Um, it's just like old habits will destroy your potential. And usually the core traits of our personality are baked in from such a young age that we just take them for granted. Like, we think that our personality is fixed. Like, oh, I am shy. Or, oh, I'm, you know, introverted. Or I have this set of preferences. You know, like, nothing about you is fixed in the way that you believe. Like, you have so much capacity for change. And the oldest habits, the ones that you have brought closest to your sense of identity, your sense of self, are exactly the ones that can hold you back the most, because you don't even believe that they're habits anymore. You just believe that that's you, that that's your personality. But it doesn't have to be. But you've gone so long accepting that that is just the way things are, that is who you are. It's hard to change. You can develop all sorts of self-esteem issues and, issues with your self-worth. I don't think I've ever really had that, but old habits are very hard to break. And I think it's very important that, if you want to change your life for the better, if you want to really examine what are the things that are holding you back, you have to just look at your personality, and you have to look at your day-to-day habits, like how you react to certain situations. And you'll find that, a lot of what you may have taken for granted to be just a part of your personality doesn't have to be like that at all. Yeah. All right, rant over. It's good to rant to a camera, though. It's like, even this, like, the way that I do this, the way that I feel, um, how articulate I am. Like, there's a lot of self-judgment going on when I'm filming. And so it's interesting to observe that in real time. There's a difference when I feel like somebody's watching. And it's a hard thing to break, but making progress. That is the point of these videos. Maybe someday I'll look back and I'll just be amazed. And almost certainly the advice that I am giving myself today, and the advice that I've written down, it's still going to be good advice for me in 10, 20 years. And that's the amazing part. It's like, all advice is context dependent. And the value that you get from advice is also context dependent. So, when I go back and I hear myself say something, I'll be surprised. And me reading it from the future, it means something different than what I meant writing it in the past. And it's still valuable. It's kind of interesting. Alrighty, I gotta go to bed. I didn't get up at 4 a.m. I didn't do it. But I'm going to get up at 4:30 tomorrow morning. And I'm going to set objectives tonight for what I want to accomplish tomorrow, and then I'll go over that tomorrow. And I think the best format for this would be set 3 clear objectives for what I want to accomplish tomorrow. Like, it's kind of pointless to just have super vague categories. Maybe I'll still keep them in, the spreadsheet. Like, I can still have a workout and learning something every day. I think that's good. And writing with the blog, I think that's good as well. But more specific categories, more specific goals, more specific to-dos will be useful. So anyways, wherever you are, whatever time you come from, maybe you're watching post AGI, post Singularity, which, if I had to guess, won't be as profound as we think. We will get used to it very quick, and it won't be that crazy from that perspective. But who knows?